If you have RSI, maybe once upon a time you really loved to travel. It was exciting to go new places. You just couldn't wait to get to your destination. But nowadays, you're probably thinking of other things when it comes to travel. Lugging your suitcase, lifting it into the overhead bin, not being able to really enjoy things because you're in pain from the hassle of traveling. So I want to give you some tricks that I've learned because some of us have to travel. Some of us have to travel for business or for family emergencies or for reasons other than a vacation. And no matter what reason you have for traveling, you're going to want to take care of your hands as much as you can during that time. So here's how to travel without killing your hands. Some of these tricks will work for you, some of them won't. Everybody's different. Before you even travel, think about your luggage. How heavy is it when it's empty and there's nothing in it? And then think about whether you really need to take this item. Some things can be really heavy, like liquid shampoos and conditioners, certain cosmetics, shoes. So think about the weight of the things that you're carrying, how you can reduce that. And what about buying it when you get there instead of putting it in your luggage? Or maybe leaving something with your host or donating it somewhere where you don't need it on the way back home. So there's things to think about strategically when you're traveling that will help make it a better experience for you. Strategize. How many different ways can you wear the outfit? How light is the clothing? If you're going to a warm climate, can you pack silk? And think about what you can wear instead of packing. So sometimes it's useful to wear the clothing that you're going to be using while you're traveling so you don't have to lift it. And when you get to the airport and you're in the waiting area at the gate, remember when the agent says, if you need extra time boarding, that's a time when you can go and have someone else lift your luggage into the overhead bin if you've decided to take it with you instead of checking it. The other thing you can think about is pre-shipping. I've noticed on TV there's these companies that will pre-ship your luggage for you so you don't have to worry about getting it to the airport, dealing with the overhead bin. So if you've been watching this channel for any length of time, you know that I really don't like splints, especially when you're working. It needs to be done very judiciously. I don't recommend them unless you're being medically supervised carefully by someone who knows how to splint properly. But there's one exception, and that's when you're at the airport. Wear your splint because it will make people more likely to want to help you. They'll see that you might have a little trouble lifting your bag and they'll say, "Can I help you?" And you can say, "Yes, thank you so much. I really appreciate it." And then after you've been helped, take the splint off and put it away. So this is a really great strategy if you want to alert people that something is wrong. You just wear the splint and then they'll know. This is my personal suitcase, and they don't make them anymore, but I want to show you a feature that I really like. So the handle telescopes, and then there's another way you can turn it. You twist it so that when you're traveling, you're not wrenching your shoulder back. You're in a neutral position, and it just follows you along. So this is a really great shoulder saver if you can find a suitcase like this. And it's not as heavy as some of them are. I think maybe there's lighter suitcases on the market, but that's something to really think about when you're traveling because you don't want to be weighed down carrying things that are going to flare your injury. The other important consideration with luggage are the zippers and the pulls that you're going to be using when you're zipping and unzipping it to close it and open it. This is another thing you should do before you buy that piece of luggage. Lift it, see how heavy it is, and zip and unzip the zippers. The other thing that's really helpful when you're traveling with repetitive strain injury is that if you're staying in a hotel, you can ask the bell person if they will lift your luggage and put it on the luggage rack for you. That way you don't have to lift it. And these little things can make a big difference when you're traveling. And then when you're on the plane or the train, without interrupting or getting into anybody else's space, you can do shoulder rolls. You can do neck releases. You can do a lot of things to keep yourself more comfortable so that when the plane ride is over, you're not stiff from not moving. That can also help make things more comfortable for you. And there's a lot of little exercise snacks that you can do that are on my channel that's entitled Soothers. So think about those things. It's also helpful to, if your shoulders bother you, to put some pillows and support the shoulder. You can also make a more ergonomic seat. Airplane seats are notoriously uncomfortable. What I do is I take a small pillow and I fold it so that it gives me a pelvic tilt, and that is really helpful. So there's many things that you can do to make yourself more comfortable when you're traveling. So I hope you enjoy the trip that you're going on. If you have any favorite tricks that you use, put them in the comments below. And be sure to watch the video that's coming up for more wonderful information about repetitive strain injury.